warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to this presentation. We are from Group 1. This time, we will present a topic about the industry pharmacy over the COVID-19 pandemic. Let me introduce myself and my friend. I am Sairi Khoiriati, and my friends are Diva, Mumtaza, Haqi, Nela, Alyani, Nadila, Okta Kirana, Rifka, Naila, Putri, and Zahra Nurlatifah. Now let's move to the first part of the presentation, understanding COVID-19. What is the pharmaceutical industry? The role of the pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical industry development of the pharmaceutical industry in the pandemic era, and conclusion. Understanding COVID-19. Coronavirus observed acute respiratory syndrome. Coronavirus 2 SARS-CoV-2 is a virus that attacks the respiratory system. Coronavirus infection called COVID-19 was first discovered in the city of Wuhan, China at the end of December 2019. This virus spread very quickly and has spread to almost all countries, including Indonesia.
What is the pharmaceutical industry? According to the regulation of the Minister of Health of the Republic of Indonesia number 1779 Kemenkes per 12/2010, the pharmaceutical industry is a business entity that has a license from the Minister of Health to carry out activities for the manufacture of drugs or medicinal ingredients. The pharmaceutical industry has the function of manufacturing drugs or medicinal ingredients, education and training, and research and development. The pharmaceutical industry that produces drugs can distribute its products directly to pharmaceutical wholesalers, pharmacies, hospital pharmacy installation, public health center, clinic, and drugstore in accordance with statutory provisions. Meanwhile, the pharmaceutical industry that produces medicinal ingredients can distribute its products directly to wholesalers of pharmaceutical raw materials and hospital pharmacy installation in accordance with statutory provisions.
Next, the role of the pharmaceutical industry. First, ensuring and improving public health by producing drugs to treat various diseases, minimizing health risks, and ensuring health services. Second, take a very active role in the leading business of the global brain evolution. Third, a very complex, dynamic, and global condition industry with very high R&D standards has very strict regulation compared to other industries. Next, development of pharmaceutical industry. In 1817, starting with the establishment of the first pharmaceutical factory in East Indies in 1817 ago, named NV Chemically. In 1896, Indonesia then pharmaceutical industry, namely the quinine factory in Bandung. In colonial period, is a milestone. Pharmacy generally begins with the education of a pharmacy assistant during the time the Dutch is in this government. Independence period, after being colonized for more than 3.5 centuries, pharmaceutical industry started developed after independence. The period after the War of Independence until 1958, numbers pharmacist assistant personnel began to increase in relatively large number.
Well, for the next, namely the development of the pharmaceutical industry in the period 1958 to 1967. The development of the pharmaceutical industry has experienced an increase due to the issue of the foreign investment law. But on the other hand, this regulation has made the pharmaceutical industry face with heavy obstacles. Then in the year 1980, seeing the downturn in the pharmaceutical industry, the government issued a government regulation number 25 of 1980 concerning amendments to government regulation number 26 concerning pharmacy. Then in full science the year 2014. 2014 ago, the Indonesian pharmaceutical market developed significantly. This is because the government has launched the National Health Insurance. Further development of the pharmaceutical industry during the pandemic, reported from the Oxford Business Group. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, Indonesia is deemed to need to increase its pharmaceutical production capacity to meet domestic needs, a country that insists on its goal of protecting in country.
Development of the pharmaceutical industry in the pandemic era. In this condition, pharmaceutical companies who is able to hang in the middle destruction, the market due to COVID-19 has a diversity. These companies generally do not depend the production for rare or non-critical disease. The COVID-19 outbreak is actually creating opportunity to boost. This can be seen from the absorption rate of local raw material in the pharmaceutical manufacturing process. About 90% of the raw material used by Indonesia are import products, of which 60% are import from China. The real moment pandemic product Indonesian pharmaceutical industry fell by 60% in May, which means that pharmaceutical manufacture in Indonesia started considering diversify the supply chain to countries Southeast Asia, not only from China. Even though it had an impact on the decline in the pharmaceutical industry, had a positive impact of the pharmaceutical industry. Among them, there are money reduction role, which is of great help to the industry pharmacy.
Okay, the next is a conclusion of this material. The pharmaceutical industry is a business entity that has a license from the Minister of Health to carry out activities to manufacture drugs or medicinal substance, has the function of manufacturing drugs or medicinal ingredients, education and training, as well as research and development. With further COVID-19 actually creates opportunities to boost domestic pharmaceutical production. The real moment pandemic, the production of the Indonesian pharmaceutical industry fell by 60%. Even though it had an impact on the decline in the pharmaceutical industry, the COVID-19 pandemic also had a positive effect on the pharmaceutical industry. Among them, there are many relaxing rules that are very helpful to the pharmaceutical industry. Thanks.
So many So many questions from our group. More or less of guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.